Everyone joined by the wonderful, the stupendous Cinderin. So Linderin. So that's actually really bad for you. Yeah, we're back.
Thank you.
We are a serious broadcast. Now we had the professionalism of capitalists. We replaced him with me, and we are now here for EG versus Thunderbirds.
Oh, I thought you were going to say EG versus EG. Felt like that
Whoa.
was appropriate. EG versus Thunderbirds. Interesting draft. Very different heroes, especially coming out from Thunderbirds. I said after watching the last series with OG that I thought DP is going to be a bigger and bigger pick going forward in this tournament. We do see it again in this game. Really happy to see Luna. I feel like this hero has kind of just been forgotten completely. So the picks from Thunderbirds here looking very interesting to me. Of course, we get an absolute classic with Sumail and his Storm Spirit. Obviously, a lot of people will remember him from back at DAC, having outstanding performance after performance. And yet another of these games where it feels slightly light on lockdown and a bit more heavy on the farming side. But honestly, if you look at Team Spirit, I don't know where that came from. It kind of looks like T-Spirit, you know? That's their tag, but it's T-Birds. If you look at Thunderbirds lineup, they play faster. This is a type of lineup that wants to push. You have Luna, you have Death Prophet. I'm expecting them to look to maybe peak at around 2025.
How are both teams even meant to farm this up? Like you got both the bounty as well as a Ricky. Yeah, Moon's coming up. They'll have to understand there is support here. With an Orb of Venom from Misery, you just use your Frostbite. Misery starts harassing Arteezy, just pushing them off the rune more than anything else. You got the Burrow Struck, but now Zai's also rotated in. He went for first level up in the Cloak and Dagger, so coming in close with the Burrow Strike, catches out too. The rune will get to be taken, but do you really catch anything more? The Clarity is burning up for Crit, but he won't have enough mana in time to get a Frostbite. So Moon will get away, and Misery is already on the roam into mid.
Yep, that's decent start for Thunderbirds. They do get the 3 runes. It does cost a lot for Misery, though. He's going to have to use his Clarity. I think he had 2 Tangos expended in this.
I believe so.
And, well, all it took to crit was 1 Clarity here. So a bit of an investment for Thunderbirds, but they get some good information as well. They know that 3 heroes are bottom to begin with because Ricky had to go to protect the Spectre. And that gives them good confidence top lane to put a lot of pressure on Universe here with this Dazzle Luna lane.
It's a little bit difficult to put the pressure on him though, right? He's just going to shield himself up whenever you go for the poison. So then it's run away with PMS for protection.
Luna Aura kind of offsets the advantage that Poor Man's Shield gives, in a sense. It makes the support in the lane a lot stronger than usual. So that means that this dual lane can actually contest it and fairly well.
This battle of vision. Misery's got the sentry ward on bottom lane, so he's watching Zai coming in closer and then just tries to harass Crit further out of the lane, giving Moon a little bit more to play with. Remember, he doesn't have any mana and he doesn't have that second level yet, so there's no caustic to work with, making this lane rather troublesome.
So far so good still for EG though in the bottom lane. Even though they're being contested and annoyed a bit, Arteezy is managing to find very good farm early on. Mid lane Storm is doing great against TP as well. Something we haven't really talked about just yet is like the laning prowess of these 2 players in mid. I think Sumail, by many regarded as one of the absolute best mechanical lane players in the world, tends to win his matchup or at least break even unless he has a very unfavorable matchup in his lane. Now this one is not that good for Storm early on, I would say. Death Prophet should be able to pressure him pretty well. He's forced to use his Shrine already, whereas Weehaw still has his available and almost full health. So
is this when you actually turn towards the roamers around? Like, isn't that when Zai's meant to be adding pressure to the mid lane instead?
He could, but it's such a difficult kill. Spirit Siphon.
Bottom lane, perfect Frostbite, Moon's in trouble, Burrow Strike up, Zai, he doesn't actually have his second level. He is so short of experience to getting the blink behind him, so Moon will actually end up surviving on bottom lane, but Zai actually is not giving up yet. They're coming up to the Shrine. Zai, now he's going to strike forward, but at the same time the Shrine gets triggered. Burrow Strike back. They need the extra vision. They don't have it out for Misery, and Zai back to the world of Invis. The Caustic Pop, it is nowhere near. So he'll end up surviving as well.
They know he has to go all the way back to base if they check his inventory. He has no health left.
What he would love if that Shrine was still up from Sumail.
Exactly, but Sumail used it earlier. That's probably being communicated by Weehaw as well, that Shrine isn't available. So now gives a bit of time for the Sentry to feel very comfortable in the bottom lane.
You're seeing Weehaw actually trying to pressure Sumail out of the mid once again. He knows he doesn't have like a full advantage now. The bottle is on Sumail.
Sumail is doing very well so far in my opinion. I think this is on paper, a DP favored matchup, and there's been no interference from either support in mid, which, well, speak of the devil.
Interference from a support, but he's going to come underneath the sentry ward. It's only got 10 seconds left on it. But the reaction, I don't know if Misery is pinging out thinking he knows there's a ward around here.
I think that is what he's saying. He's trying to get this information.
The ward's gone now. Sumail's actually going to be a little bit more careful now. But Chris not even coming to help him.
Saw that,
like, Chris actually farming underneath the Dire Observer ward, and I think that's actually the reason why Misery is making a beeline down towards this Crystal Maiden. He knows he's got a kill. He put this ward down when they first came down to contest the rune, so he knows exactly where Crit is moving. He'll come underneath the tower, but Misery, he will take the first blood.
And a bounty rune. Good stuff from Misery. That ward finally paying off. They placed it very early. They do get some good value out of it. Now, that gives Sumail a bit of confidence in the mid lane. He's going to be able to bottle Crow freely, knowing that the courier won't get sniped. He gets some decent CS, and now Zai will look to put a protective ward up for him. We have hit nighttime, so we want to get these wards out against rotations when the vision is at its lowest. Of course, it doesn't fully protect you when there's invisible heroes in the game, and you could always invest into smokes, but as far as Thunderbirds go, their rotation power is not that great early on until Sand King really gets involved. Bounty Hunter is nice for this early harassment and finding this nice pick. When Sumail's level 6, he kind of can't die.
Do Thunderbirds actually rely more on their rotation? Because once you have, like, once you have Exorcism up and running, can it turn into a push play?
Absolutely. Oh, Sumail is not 6 yet, though.
Oh, he can't jump away. The slow is just going to be too much, but maybe, no, he can't do enough damage to get something back against Misery as well as Weeha. So Thunderbirds up at 2-0. And Weeha, the man claiming the last hit in the mid.
And like you said, when Death Prophet hits level 6, they can go for it. DP should hit 6 now before Storm because of this kill. And that could give them a secondary opportunity to just go right away, pop the Exorcism, get the kill, and try to push the tower. At the very minimum, they should force EG to do a double rotation, since none of the heroes really can deal with DP on their own. Oh, he got an Invis rune on Weeha as well. This is horrible for Sumail.
Oh, they're both on top of him. You even have the Dazzle coming in for the burst heal from the Shadow Wave. Thunderbirds, everything is going their way here.
Great play call here to bring Sox into this. You're not going to expect the Dazzle to rotate. And they're taking as much advantage as possible of the fact that Sumail hasn't hit level 6 yet. This is probably the last time these two heroes can combine up for a kill until, well, maybe it's possible if we have skill Silence. That's, of course, a play they do have.
But TT is living in fear on the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's also a really bad matchup. This early game for Thunderbirds is looking great. They forced rotation toward mid from EG because they're taking so much damage on the Stone Spirit that Sand King gets a one-on-one matchup against Spectre, and Spectre's so fragile and weak against this kind of hero, bullying him out.
Arteezy's actually going home. He doesn't have the life to survive.
Oh, good choice. It looks like Misery might have actually been able to find him there. Gets out in time. So
they're going middle lane. Crit with that quick little haste rune jumping into the mid. They do have the silencer. Weeha can't just Spirit Siphon himself away to victory. And that allows Sumail, 1, to have level 6, and 2, to get a good big kill over on the Death Prophet. Top lane, a little bit more trouble for the Abaddon. Reach back to his tier 1 tower, able to make it. And Zai also rotates up to the top lane.
Big pick for EG, though, to get this comeback in the mid lane. They were losing their mid lane. They were kind of losing all 3 lanes, actually. Abaddon is getting way less than the Sand King, and Luna is also out farming the Spectre. So the early game for Thunderbirds was already starting to look really, really great. This comeback kill is a bit of a breather for them, but of course, you need to keep in mind, Moonmeander is level 5, almost 6 down here. Someone still needs to come and help Arteezy, or he's going to have to go back to base again.
Yep, he's trying to trip Spectral Dagger forward. Crit is on his way, almost trying to force Moon into the engagement. And with the Nova and Frostbite, this should be a return, but Moon, Burrow Strikes out, going into the epicenter to spill damage. With the help of Misery, should be able to get a return kill onto Crit. Bumping Misery up as he hunts Arteezy through the tree line. Arteezy going north and then daggering away. He doesn't have his TP scroll. He's got 6 stick charges, but now he's on the wrong side of the river and cutting deeper into enemy territory.
This is going to take forever for Arteezy. He has to wait 30 seconds to TP to base.
And then come back out.
And then walk back to lane. He's basically losing 15 CS right now.
With the 6 stick charges, can you actually TP back to your tier 1 tower?
No. You need to... Well... Possibly, yeah. He could actually do that and send out a flask. I think that's a better play, to be honest, than going back to base at this point.
Well, the courier just got used and is sending the Ring of Regen for Sumail forward.
Yeah, well.
So no joy for Arteezy.
So usually you would say when you trade the Sand King for a Crystal Maiden, it's favorable for EG because they get a core kill for support, but the cost here for the Spectre is way too high. It's almost as if Thunderbirds got 2 kills there.
TZ actually went home too, so he didn't try and play around with the tier 1 tower. And this is not looking good for EG's early game, but you took away for their power hit. Zai's going to try and play this middle lane with the help by TZ. That's one way to get back to the front lines. Hoard yourself in, go for the kill on Weeha. The damage output, however, Sumail Mothball lighting himself in deeper. He had the regeneration room, that's what gave him the mana to get there, but they lost TZ. Crit's not too healthy either. And they know more. Misery underneath that sentry ward. EG re-engaging, able to kill off Misery, but Resolution lets the lights go, but the creep wave, it soaks up everything. Zai not getting hit by a single beam.
That was so unlucky for Resolution. Generally, you at least hit 1, but all 4 beams there from, or actually all 5 rather, from Eclipse hitting the wrong targets. And Zai can count his lucky stars on that one. And EG, that looked a bit shaky. At the end of the day, they get a couple kills and they get out, but it's at the cost of their bottom tier 1 tower. Arteezy, yes, he was involved, but again, I think he hasn't touched a creep for 2.5 minutes now on the Spectre. He gets a bit of assist gold in the middle, that's nice, but he needs more than this.
So how does EG protect him? Does this become a vision game around the Radiant jungle? Do you have to babysit him with 1 support? I suppose this will help when you can try and get kills up on top lane, but...
Well, to be fair, Resolution did also rotate mid actually, so he also lost some CS. But look at the creep scores here.
TZ's trying to dagger forward and just harass down Soxa, but this is difficult. Zai can't really find the kill on him, and he knows it.
Spectre's just really weak.
Yeah.
Most of the Spectre games we've seen this tournament, Spectre is just not given the perfect early game that it's looking for. It's generally a bad idea to give Spectre free farm unless you have a lineup that can peak early. Arguably, Thunderbirds could do that, and they did for the first short amount of time. Precious Sumail. Oh, speaking of which, he's going to jump in on.
Yeah, going on towards the mid lane. Get Prophet, real trouble, still silenced up, and Weeha will fall. Misery to the neighborhood, and he's starting to prep the tracks. He was actually the man attacking into Crit on the back line, so he wasn't there to help out.
Zai's Riki is really, really important in this game for EG. He's kind of set up everything for them. Every kill they've got on mid has been because of the smoke screen. How many deaths does Weeha have now? He has 3. Sumail only 2, and he got pressured hard in the start, but EG brought him back in the game. Once again, at the cost of Arteezy, but that's something they can maybe deal with now. His Haunt is online again. We'll be getting Urn after a couple more creeps. Probably wants to get involved and get some Urn charges up and running.
Maybe we should start talking about the other side of the Arteezy coin, the Resolution side, the 1-for-1. Because right now Resolution is #1 in net worth. He's actually bouncing forward with Sumail. But it's the fact that you've got a free farming and leveling up Luna. She TPs around a little bit, but she can bounce off the top lane and give the space for Moon to pick up his Blink Dagger. It looks like Thunderbird's timings and items are looking really good for that 5-man ball into EG.
Absolutely, and the key items in this game have got to be something along the lines of duels and force staffs. That's how you deal with Riki. It's a great way of dealing with the Crystal Maiden. It's also a good way of dealing with Spectre, to be honest. You just want to create some space, buy time, and survive with your heroes.
They're coming for a kill up on top. Zai needs to get this perfect jump. It's going to help when Moon Burrow strikes aggressively forward. Here comes that Haunt. Arteezy wants the kill, and they don't actually give it to him. Zai is the man who's going to get the last little backstab in onto the SK. Slows down the Blink Dagger and gets Arteezy in a successful engagement.
Yeah, still, regardless, it's a very good play for the Arteezy to get the kill, but it's a good kill to get for their team. Now, will Thunderbirds try to put some more pressure here? They're looking to go mid.
Well, we've got no Exorcism available, so they can't just force it that way.
Well,
then they're getting flanked. Here comes Universe Crit as well. They go for the Frostbite over on Weeha. Sumail jumping forward. They're going to Vortex back in. We need a little bit more damage, but they won't be able to do it. Not while the Shallow Grave is down. But when you let the Frost fall, it will be enough to get 2 kills into Thunderbirds. Moon wants to join the engagement. Burrow strike forward. He only hits creeps, however. No control on the EG heroes. Misery will fall down as well. And Evil Geniuses. It was a casual wraparound, and Thunderbirds sat there and took it.
Once again, the Riki of Zai is playing an incredible game so far. He gets the perfect smoke screen on the Luna. There was no Eclipse for the whole fight. Resolution's in this awkward position where he has to choose between running to the right and casting Eclipse and being out of range of almost everyone, or running left through the entire smoke screen. This is a level 1 smoke screen, mind you. It's still just, the smaller radius makes it a lot weaker than on higher levels, but it's good enough for now. And yep. Thunderbirds might have overstayed their welcome. I actually think that was playable for them, but as you pointed out, with no Exorcism, and if they don't get the Eclipse out, it's too hard.
Yeah. And until they have the 4-stars, that's not going to work for them. And even Luna, you know the Hurricane Pike will come, but because she built the Mask of Madness early on, it's next item Dragonlance, so it's going to take a while before these items come up. We probably thought you're going to get the injection of money once you started bringing down Tier 1 towers. But that's the purpose of having this Death Prophet as well as Luna. It should be something that EG cannot repel.
Sumail has a lot of CS. It's actually...
He's #1 in the network.
Very surprising. He's got 110 CS minute 13 after dying twice in lane and being involved in 7 kills. That is very impressive play from him. EG have been making some good moves after what looked like it could have been shaky early on. They've utilized especially the Haunt and the Riki very well, and of course the Storm Spirit following through, kind of come together as a team. And Universe, solid as rock as always, has no deaths on this Abaddon. Generally see other offlane Abaddons in the tournament have 1 or 2 deaths in lane. Kind of overextending a little bit, but plays it safe.
Universe has been a rock. Can be a bigger one too once he has the Plaids up, so then EG can have a little bit more sustain when it comes to the engagements. They need that. They still need that for Arteezy, especially when Arteezy, like, he goes for the Urn, the PMS, the phase, then next major item, and it's a long time before he's going to get there. It's the Relic into Radiance. So Sumail, this is his time. Like, if he can control the engagements and just the tempo of this game for the next 10 minutes, once he has that Bloodstone, that'll become a lot easier. But he needs to create the space for the spec.
Absolutely, but it looks like EG has kind of slowed the game down a bit with this couple of aggressive plays. Thunderbirds didn't really find the momentum that they were looking for, so now we get to play a little slower.
Oh, they smoked right on top of the obs. Oh, so this movement, even Zai's actually backing up. He's staying close enough that he could potentially break the smoke, but he doesn't want to break it when he could also just be instantly detected. But do they even bring?
They can use this as a fake play, okay.
And they got dust on the SK with the blink dagger.
Going to see him.
Zai sees a lot more. He's underneath the sentry ward just on the edge. They don't see him anymore. That's why the dust had to be committed. But Sumail, long jump in, going in for the dazzle, able to find him. And Moon, thinking twice about it all, actually blinked himself away, hence no ability to counter-initiate with Epicenter.
It was a good choice from him.
Bottom tower is under
I'm not sure who made the play call to go on the Riki. It's very tempting. You have the sentry, you're in position, but the entire enemy team is missing, and if you start committing spells on the Riki, if you don't burst him, you're just going to get overrun. He uses tricks of the trade, and his team follows in. And they end up just cutting their dazzle, which probably is worth it.
Arteezy changed his item build. He's actually got Blade Mail in his quick buy at the moment. So he's switching from that Radiance. Moon's a little deep up on this top lane. Smoke up, actually on him at the moment. Tries to run away. Spectral Horn going to be used. And then, well, a quick trick to the trade. But that is one very dead Moon. So he's picked up his Blink Dagger. And the first 2 engagements he's in, he runs away. And then he dies. Not the greatest first reveal for Thunderbirds.
I want to commend EG on how well they're utilizing Spectre. I feel like compared to other teams we've seen in the tournament, they are doing a very good job at using Haunt off cooldown. Arteezy has been in 9 out of 11 kills, so every time there's a Haunt available, he joins in, contributes with what his hero can right now. Obviously, Spectre not the greatest hero at this time in the game, but they're playing to their own strengths. Thunderbirds looking to do the same with this mid push.
Yeah, if they can do it. Getting hit by the Weave early on, so bring up the armor. EG are not going to engage him. They let the Tier 1 tower fall. This time I think they understand there's both Exorcism as well as... really? There's both Exorcism as well as Eclipse up, and they're going to lose their Dazzle. Okay, that's an easier way to take the fight. Keep getting pick-offs on all the sides of the Thunderbirds movement and don't engage the 2 big cores.
This is kind of a game of warding between Zai and Misery, who can get the better and more impactful wards out that sets up their team. Zai with these aggressive wards in the enemy jungle have been really useful. Miseries haven't paid off as much, basically. Big part of the reason being that Sand King hasn't really been able to set up his team as much as, EG just have more options for engaging. Both the Storm and the Riki can jump with a Haunt and find a pick anywhere. So if Thunderbirds split up, they're gonna die. And if they 5-man at the same time, EG generally sees their movements. They tried for the smoke play that got countered, and then, you kind of have to calm down, chill a bit, farm up some more, and that's the type of game EG want to play. Basically, the Riki is enabling greed.
Jump, Sumail, so long, and he'll get in. Nice and quick. Misery has been sitting there for the last 1-2 minutes, just trying to get that little bit of extra farm to bring him closer towards his mech. And Sumail sees the perfect opportunity for the jump. And this is now 14 Bloodstone charges. We'll start the count. Let's see just how far Sumail gets. And where does he go next? Like, is it going to be disable items? Is Orchid really the play when you're going to have probably both Manta and Newell Scepter? For the, like, one each for the cores of Thunderbirds?
Orchid is really good against Dazzle, but at the same time, he could maybe just jump and kill him off. Alternatively, generally you think one of two ways with Storm in this position. Either like, I'm owning, I want to keep owning. If you're having a great game, that's generally the mentality, so then you buy Orchid. The other one is, I'm having a hard game, I need something more defensive, then you buy Yule. Those are the, I want to say, 3/4 of games, if not more, that is the next item. One of those two. And in this game, I think Sumail is in a great position. Why not just go for the Orchid and keep the ball rolling?
Well, he's got it in the quick fire, so he definitely is going to be doing that. A little bit twitchy from Thunderbirds. They're being watched by this observer ward, just on the bottom, and while they were doing that, they thought EG knew something more, and they actually does it on top of their own shrine. They're really, really uncertain where Zai is moving around.
Risky play from Thunderbirds going for the Abaddon. That's just not going to happen at all. Well, just a bit of harassment. They tried to probably force a TP here, just try to bait out a bit of response from EG. Unsuccessful, however. I believe Crit was already there and didn't TP in.
Yeah, he was just sitting behind. Zai's looking for his opportunity, and they know they can always bring in the numbers. So you got 3 up on the top. We already saw Nature's Prophet being effective earlier today. It's the same kind of thing. You can always bring the extra players to the north. And Zai, well, who's he want to go on? Weeha's the primary target. There goes your jump. They need a stun, however. Crit's not going to be in range in time. Neither is Sumail. So a good TP out. Will keep him alive, but they'll still lose the tier 1.
That's big commitment from EG, however. They use Haunt, they use all of Storm's mana. He does have Arcane Aura and Arcane Rune, so able to quickly get his mana back. That 14 charge Bloodstone. But Thunderbirds are trying to take whatever opportunity they can out of this. They know that with Haunt on cooldown, this fight is a lot more difficult for EG to take. So they go for this push, knowing that EG's lineup is pretty bad at killing Roshan. So usually when you go for this bottom area as the Dire, you're worried that the enemy team can go simply trade off. But that is just not an option right now for Evil Geniuses. So tier 1 for tier 2 trade is eventually what we're going to get to see here. Thunderbird's probably pretty happy with this. Yeah,
it's building Resolution up to a point where his team fight's going to be really, really strong. Very difficult to kill off the Luna. He didn't actually build into the Hurricane Pike. He's still looking for the Manta. But that's more than likely because he's going to be predicting Sumail's Orchid.
Misery loves company, so they're going to cruise up and smoke as 5.
And go Roshan.
And go Roshan. That's a good place to have a little bit of a get together.
Oh, exorcism it up. And they're going to commit with the Weave as well. As far as Radiant Vision goes, they don't see anything around the pit. But that's the reason why Zai is coming in. Where is the Sentry Ward? Where is the detection? Zai's going to put down the smoke screen. Roshan is dropping down to 1600. Zai is just waiting with the smoke screen down. They know it. There goes the Sentry Ward. So Zai finally visible. Moon gets a double barrel strike out. The jump forward. It will be the Aegis Immortal into the hands of Resolution. And with the Eclipse falling down, Zai falls. But he's the only one down at the moment. They want more with the track up the hill. They'll see Crit Moon again for the Burrow Strike. Able to catch out the Crystal Maiden. Sumail can't really do much to stop it. It's Misery as the Bounty Hunter, picking up the double kill after Roshan was properly killed by the Dire side. So Thunderbirds get exactly what they want. A couple of kills and the Aegis.
100% textbook stuff of how you take advantage of the bit of information you're given. They know that Haunt is down. They know that they have the better Roche lineup. They know that they got away with getting this tier 2 tower bottom. They're just using every little bit of advantage that they have at this point in time. If Haunt is off cooldown, this could be a completely different story because EG could just pop the Haunt, get full vision of every other hero, isolate the one they want, and build the fight on their terms. But with RTC unable to do so, Thunderbirds this time around get all of their spells off very well. And that wasn't even perfect. They didn't have a sentry down early, so Zai did get in for the smoke screen. With an earlier sentry, maybe he just dies in the Roche falls, but you could argue it's maybe better this way. They got a bonus kill on Crit like this.
Yep, they actually made EG believe they had the fight. And so much patience from Thunderbirds. Smoke screen went down. Did they freak out? No, they just took it one kill at a time.
And credit to Moon Meander in this fight. I think he had a bit of a rough start on Sand King, but playing it cool in that fight, finding the key stuns that he needed to.
EG is looking for another kill at the moment. They're hunting into the Dire jungle. They would love to find a target, but unfortunately for them, like the Dire are already predicting some kind of scan. Okay, they're going to find one. It's going to be Saxa. So a jump ball from Sumail. 15 Bloodstone charges. It's been a while since he's added an extra digit to that. But it will allow them now to force into the tier 1 tower in mid. No fortification available. Thunderbirds are in no position to defend.
It's extremely hard to play Dazzle in this game. He has to spend so much gold on detection.
Universe,
And
he's just going in.
time.
The villain that Observer Board has been up for so long, so Misery gets his arms off, Sumail jumping forward, but the physical damage will be more than enough. Universe will find that kill, bringing him to a 4-0-4 on the Abad.
They don't even need to use the Pond here. Evil Geniuses are actually in a good position to look for this bottom tier 1. Have Pond available. Relic is on the courier for Arteezy, so 1,000 gold to go for him for that big Radiance upgrade. And that's when things get scary for Thunderbirds, in my opinion. First of all, the Haunt is going to show them where Bounty Hunter is. There's going to be an illusion spawning next to him. They're going to cancel out the Sand King's Blink Dagger. And with Dazzle being this poor, the Spectre alone can force Grave and probably just kill him off after. And without the Grave, Stormspear is going to have a great time. Now they have two options of dealing with the fights, especially when his Orchid comes up. Oh, top lane crit is in absolutely no man's land.
Thankfully, there's a Yule Scepter after the Burrows drive from Moon, again focusing on creeps instead of heroes.
Usually these kills aren't that expensive, you know. Sometimes you risk it with a support. You're like, okay, I'm going to go top and push until I get killed and we get some information about what's going on the map. A lot of the times, at position 4 or 5, we'll do this, and you're like, okay, that's fair enough. We got a 4 or 5-man rotation to kill our CM. There's track. It's a lot more expensive to buy this information for Evil Geniuses. In a way, maybe they should have predicted this. They still have the tier 1 tower top. We know there's an Aegis on Luna. It's the most likely next play for Thunderbirds to just go up here, group up, and take 2 towers. Yeah. I'm curious if they want to go high ground now, because they have ready Aegis, Solar Crest on the Death Prophet, and level 2 Exorcism.
If EG want to try and go for the trade-off, maybe it's worth it just to nudge the tier 3 tower to bring him back, but EG's going for the tier 2, and Crystal Maiden's on the defense job.
Yep. It's a risky play to go high ground here. You don't have a big advantage, but you do have the Aegis, and you still know that Radiance isn't online. Or well, now it is. But at the time, the information that they have was that Arteezy was not ready with the Radiance. So, looks like Thunderbirds more than likely made a good read here. After all, it's going to go up.
Yeah, might be good. Get the BKBs up, get the safety onto your Luna. Actually, Resolution switched. He had BKB in his quick buy, now he's looking at the Skadi instead, as opposed to going for immunity against. Well, I suppose you've already got some level of escape from the Storm's initiation. What more would a BKB buy you?
An ability to use your spells against Ricky is pretty valuable.
That is a nice thing, not gonna lie.
Smoke screen is scary. Oh, here comes the mail.
Long jump, looking for it again. Dazzle, 4-star up. The Orchid won't be enough to kill him. And this is a way where he can actually hold on to his shallow grave. Moon again missing the Burrow Strike as Sumail hiding in the trees.
That's actually probably a kill if they hit that Sand King stun. Sumail used so much mana on disengage. He can be happy that that didn't turn into a fight.
There's Exorcism as well as Eclipse available.
And they're not going to need... Oh, actually, wow.
They're going to commit it. They want the tier 2 tower. It's the last remaining outer tower for Evil Geniuses. The question is, do you really push any further? Because now your Aegis is gone. It just timed out.
Oh, they definitely can't go further with this.
They have to finish the tier 2 tower, though.
Yeah. Well,
or do they just leave it?
We doesn't feel confident.
The Lunar Illusion is currently killing it, and they're going for the kill. EG want the kill. That's why Storm Spirit long jump forward, going after the Dead Prophet. That actually will it be enough with a Yule Scepter up. He may have enough time to get the life back into the Exorcism. No, it will not be. He will fall.
Key Orchid coming out from Sumail on the Dazzle. As talked about earlier, that's the problem. He wants to grave the DP, but simply can't get it off. The Haunt immediately gives them vision of where the Dazzle is. Easy click for Sumail to get that Orchid off in two kills and a 2-3.
Now EG, they're the ones to push.
Yep.
Zai is just roaming around trying to find anyone. Moon is in no position to fight this one because he doesn't have the support. Resolution moved up to the top lane to let his illusion start doing the push. So maybe we start looking around the Roshan timer. It will be a rather quick spawn. It's going to be in the first minute of the 3 that it will spawn up. And we'll see who that really does favor if Thunderbirds go in again and try and look for Roshan.
Oh. Resolution is getting really, really big. Luna is a great hero at fighting in Roshan as long as you can get your Eclipse off. So once again, look toward that Ricky. Manta can counter the Orchid of the Storm and the Frostbite, so really should have no real problem apart from dealing with the Ricky. Do they have a 4-step apart from Sand King? That's the only one for now. That is one way of making sure Luna gets her ulti off. But you generally don't really want to use your 4-step aggressively in this game, I feel. You need to have to to save a support, or even Sand King himself with that force.
Well, that's why I'm interested to see like why he bypassed the Hurricane Pike and decided to finish the full Skadi instead.
That's true. I think Pike could have also been a very nice choice here. Absolutely.
Because there's no way Daz is going to find the money for anything. He's having a hard enough time, and now you get a Diffusal Blade up on Zai. The Riki starts progressing his way into being that 4th core for EG.
That's a very big item.
That's
can purge off the Yules of Death Prophet. They can kill her off very swiftly. Storm's going to jump Death Prophet. She's going to self Yules. They purge it or hit the Dazzle and just kill DP it. They need bigger items on Weehaw right now. The Blink Dagger is very different than what we usually see. It's more of an aggressive approach. Yeah. It can also be used defensively, of course. If they see the Storm Jump coming, he can maybe disengage. Of course, hoping maybe to play the Yules into Blink, but as mentioned, that Diffusal Blade's going to put a quick. That's a really
good Dire Observer ward. But at the same time, EG just put down their own Radiant one inside the jungle.
Haunt.
So if they want to jump forward, yeah, Haunt will be used. At the same time, defensive Weave comes out, and EG really thought Thunderbirds were a lot closer, and Thunderbirds instantly smoke.
It's the obvious play here. I think EG are going to see this one coming. I was expecting that if Thunderbirds have a smoke, this is the time.
What's the time for this? Roshan just spawned. If they look in there with the Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet, they could potentially kill off Roshan before EG knows it, but no. They're moving towards the mid lane. There's still a tower within deny range. It's on 51 HP, and Crit is finally going to take care of it. Goodbye, Zyre, walking in through the back lines. CM denies the tower, and yep, they're coming mid. The Arcane Rune has worn off now, but there's no Riki for 40 seconds, and that's after he just bought the Diffusal Blade. So here they come. X's them up, the Weave again, boost up the armor, but where's your creep wave? It doesn't exist just yet.
They don't need it right now. They just need to make sure that the Death Prophet does not get burst down. Nice damage coming out here from EG.
Mech already triggered off by Misery. The life is going to be there. Resolution just had his Skadi arrive as well. With the creep wave here, they can push in, and they can push in pretty hard. Arteezy moves to the front line. He's actually, he's going on Resolution. Same with Sumail. They want that kill. A quick Yules interrupt. Resolution can't get the distance, or can he? No, Sumail gets the last hit in. Weehaw split 3 ways with a Cypher, but he just can't suck enough as he'll get hold in position. Okay, Moon, is this his time? No, Sumail just ball lightnings up. He's looking for another kill. One more attack on the Moon. It's not enough. 33 HP. We split up again. Back in towards the Death Prophet onto Weehaw. Universe will find this one. They hold their ground. Sumail once more, but he can't find Moon. Moon TP's out, and Misery is invisibly running away.
Very nice play here from EG in the base. This is how you try to defend against this kind of pushing lineup. Slowly but steadily, whittling them down with Crystal Nova, Aphotic Shield, Mist Coil, just using all of the tools you have. And the moment Thunderbirds have 2 heroes on half health, you bring in the Storm. He even got a double ball lightning hit. Thunderbirds, as you said, had they only checked the Roshan pit when they ran past it, they might have changed their mind and gone for that first. As that probably would have just been a clean pick. There's no Riki alive. He didn't have buyback. Now instead, EG gets this. This is probably the biggest minute of the game that we just saw here. This is a big game changer. Sumail 21 Bloodstone charges and Aegis.
Let's have a look at the fight again. So there's that Sumail jump him. Thought for a moment you get more damage out from the Exorcism, but it just wasn't there. And there was no heal. Misery burnt the mech before this fight began.
I think in addition to that, the BKB reveal took them by surprise. They didn't know that this BKB was available on Sumail. So Sand King was ready to do an immediate counter jump on the Storm. They were maybe Thunderbirds were playing on that idea. Okay, we're going to get a bit low. Storm will jump. Be ready with Sand King. Instant counter jump. We know that they can't go in with the Haunt since that's on cooldown. But, you know, there was a BKB in there. And now this game is looking very good for Evil Geniuses. It's not like they have a massive advantage. We're talking 4K gold. The experience actually is massive. Okay,
yeah, the experience is a lot higher.
That's kind of crazy. It was more just the flow of the game, you know. You just have this feel in this game that going later, the Storm Inspector will be a really big problem.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, if Thunderbirds are able to find a way to win a fight, they got a lot of push power between the Death Prophet as well as the Luna.
For sure.
So there is a way if they can take the engagement. But for now, they're out of position. Sumail and Universe, they enter the base up on the top lane. Doxa is the only one really in position. Moon's coming in, but he's also been feeling very underwhelming for his influence in these fights.
They're going to need BKBs. Nice first, not here, Blind Misery. It's a bit of a bonus for the Dire squad. But you need BKBs now at Thunderbirds, and they've realized that both Luna and DP have queued them up. And that will make the fights a lot harder for EG. Almost no matter what they can buy, for the same amount of gold that they're going to be earning in the same time frame, Thunderbirds get the higher impact items.
Yep.
The EG lineup actually sucks against BKB. They're really weak. Storm loses a lot of damage against it. Spectre loses a lot of damage against it. Both Desolate and Radiance doesn't work. Ricky loses his Diffusal. It's a very good pickup.
So here's the question, does EG just disengage? Sumail jumping in, maybe he can bait out the BKBs that way, having Zai being aggressive.
It's one option, but you have a mid tower on 170 health, and Thunderbirds ideally want to go for a smoke play that sets them up to push mid.
That's exactly
right now
what they do.
They see Arteezy on their wards and actually just barely avoid the smoke of EG.
They just weaved and
this is
managed to dodge it. They're gonna find Arteezy. The smoke will break. Misery gets the vision. Oh! Boom is the Boris strike. And comes the mail. Looking for the opening. The Eclipse will fall. Where is the glaive damage? Arteezy still alive for the moment, but probably not for much longer. Misery, he will finally fall. Moon pushing himself up the hill, but Sumail, under the cover of his own BKB, has the life. Weeha trying to man this up, but he can't get out. He will be able to find at least one kill on the support, but he cannot survive the wrath of EG. Sumail and Universe, the Immortals, will survive, and somehow Resolution said, you know what? I'm out, boys. I managed to survive this. I got a couple of kills. I ain't dying for this.
I thought that was going to end way worse for Thunderbirds. They end up salvaging this with a 4-for-3 with a couple of track kills, so at the end of the day, a fairly even fight with the gold outcome. Obviously, XP should be favoring EG a bit there, but that Sand King stun is going to bother him a lot, because this fight, without Haunt, Spectre insta-dying, could have been the moment for Thunderbirds to get a lane of racks, actually.
They just didn't have the vision instantly. Like, their only observer what they had was closer back towards the shrine. It didn't see past that troublesome tree and into the Radiant jungle. They knew he was roughly there, but it wasn't enough to hit the stun.
It was a nice play from Arteezy as well, sidestepping to the right. Usually, you know, the common trajectory that you're going to be moving in when you go to the side is that you will try to create as much distance to the enemy team as possible. So when Moon Meander has to go for the blind stun, Arteezy walks towards him so that there is the chance that the stun will miss. And Arteezy also knows in this moment that Moon Meander has to make the play fast, because his own team is coming in and Thunderbirds probably expect that.
Let's have a quick look at it again.
So Arteezy breaks the smoke, runs up, and now he's going to step right just a little bit to dodge this Sand King stun. And it makes a big difference that he gets haunts out. Of course, he does die here, but Arteezy's damage in that fight was really significant. Oh, look at Saksa just dying every fight. It's just merciless. Playing Dazzle in this game is an absolute nightmare. He's playing as two of the worst heroes he can face, Storm Spirit and Ricky. So Saksa, honestly, him being 0-7 and 8, not too bad.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you see it from Moon. You see it from... He knows. He knows he just got... Well, he got schooled by Arteezy.
He's just not having one of his best games, and this is where it's important that you don't lose focus on the bigger plays. You know, sure, you messed up. It wasn't the end of the world. The fight didn't go as it could have, but there's going to be more fights ahead of him. Next time, just keep a bit cooler. Don't get tilted.
Watch this timing on Sumail. He's got 20 seconds before this Aegis will time out. So he wants to be a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, he's got a lot of money. A full Bloodthorn done, and he's already staring down the barrel of a Shiva's 1,400 away from completing that as well. And then he's almost 6-slotted.
Shiva is incredible in this game. So much of Thunderbird's damage is physical. Of course, Luna is one of those special carries that have a lot of magic damage output as well, but Sumail has the BKB against that. So once at BKB, killing Sumail is really difficult. They have no BKB piercing stun or anything of the like.
They're coming again. Misery underneath the sentry ward. And, well, he doesn't know. Here comes the jump forward. Resolution will arrive too, but Sumail, he already has the stun with the shallow grave up. Misery will be able to survive this, and Sumail wants to stand his ground. The blink forward. Weeha just goes in with the exorcism up. With the help of Resolution, the damage may just be enough. EG's on the retreat, but fighting underneath that shrine. The life is there. It's Crit who's on the run. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off at the moment. Zai on the back lines, making the Thunderbirds look behind themselves. Arteezy just TPs away. Following HYHY's instructions, stays in the trees, and Zai, where's your detection? The TP, well, you don't see him. He's out, he's gone.
That was one big thing we didn't cover from the previous big team fight, the 4-for-3 exchange, was that there was a turn. There was a gem turnaround on EG. They got the gem of Moon Meander, so the gem unavailable for Thunderbirds in this time frame, and they really need that. This Riki is being an absolute pestilence. And in this fight, Eclipse didn't come out. This is one of the problems that you have when you go Mask of Madness in a hero like Luna. He wants to use the Mask of Madness to get into the fight. Couldn't use Eclipse for those full 8 seconds and ends up not even getting it off the whole fight.
I'm wondering if Eclipse is even going to be enough. I'm looking at Arteezy staring down the barrel of having a full heart. The survivability on the EG heroes is greater than the damage output coming from Thunderbirds. Epicenter's done nothing. Dazzle, like his Shadow Wave damage, you're not going to count that as enough. Bounty Hunter throwing around a couple Shuriken tosses. This just isn't enough. That you need to have more damage on the Luna.
Yeah, you do, eventually, but Eclipse is still playing a really big role right now, and not getting it off is a big loss. Of course, the later the game goes, the weaker it gets. I'm curious to see what Arteezy is thinking of next after this heart.
He may have the other protection. Like, I'm looking at Universe, looking at his Aghanim Scepter is 1400 away.
Yeah, it's a big item.
Yep.
I feel like I talk about that every single game I cast the bat in, but honestly, it's incredible.
The reason why this hero is being one of the most picked up heroes as Mail goes for the long jump. Where's the save? The smoke screen is down. Resolution gets the BKB up, but he's just so low. The physical damage may be enough. Not a Jello Grave. It'll be there in time. Now the attention turns towards Misery. Moon creates some space with his Burrow Strike, but Misery is down. The Shrine's trigger as the Haunt will allow EG to go up high ground against the Tier 3 tower. Weeha wants them out of his home. But don't go out too far. In fact, they may have to. The Tier 2 tower is where EG is shifting their attention now.
They really don't want to fight this. Resolution uses BKB. They have a dead Bounty Hunter. Sure, he might not be the strongest teamfight hero right now, but the traps are actually playing a big role in Thunderbird's ability to stay on target with the Death Prophet especially. That movement speed bonus pretty much gives Weeha haste every single fight.
You can see Weeha trying to make the most of it. Like, Weeha's going in. The second he triggers that Exorcism, he wants to be right on top of any target he wants to kill, and he's looking for the backliners.
I think getting in on the Maiden really quick and just getting rid of her is very nice. That's one option. The other option is to lay in hard into... What are you going to go on? Like, the Spectre is too hard to kill now. Yeah, Abaddon you really don't want to go on. Storm you're not touching, and Riki you're not finding. So, well, kind of limited on his options in this game.
They just sentryed up as well. They missed the Observer Ward. The camp is blocked, and their two sentries are too far away. Roshan is a lot longer in his spawn time. It's just over 2 minutes of the 3 potential. And they're trying to work it out. Like, something is not right. Maybe this is one option they can go for when they find Arteezy a little bit far out, but no, that ain't an option.
It gets tricky for Thunderbirds. We didn't really talk too much about Arteezy's Blade Mail, but the reason he gets it is that both Luna and Death Prophet has abilities that, yes, you can control Exorcism, but at the same time the fights get very chaotic. You need to be very careful, and you need to switch away targets from him unless you want to take a lot of physical damage with this. And then you have a spell like Eclipse where you have no choice. Obviously, when Luna's BKB is running, doesn't care too much about that. There's still the physical damage, all the bouncing glaives. It's a constant flow of damage that Arteezy can bring to the fights with this Blade Mail.
And that's why you switch it up. That's why you get Resolution the Satanic, but he just got scouted out. If he really goes down here, this is going to be a huge problem. Triggers the BKB, needs to use the Satanic as well, get that life back out of EG, but he has to run further away. Arteezy doesn't keep up with the chase. Instead, they turn their attention towards Weeha with an Exorcism. He tries to do as much damage as possible, and it's working for the moment. He's holding his ground under the cover of the BKB, which will wear off in just a second, which is right now. Moon pulled back in the Shadow Grave. The perfect home from Saxa, but we're again into the Spectral Horn. Will it be enough? You've lost 2, you've lost 3, a triple kill for Arteezy, and they look towards the mid with 4 down for Thunderbirds. Only the Death Prophet has buyback, but without Exorcism, she's not going to do a hell of a lot.
They are so limited in fights when Resolution has to back off. This entire fight is 4 and 5, basically. Rezo, sure, he survives using the Satanic and gets out to safety, but can't contribute anything to the fight. Weeha's already committed in, can't really go back. And this could be the end of game number 1 here. EG will at least be getting 2 lanes.
And Zai, he's already looking to initiate up on top of Resolution. The life is just being drained from the Luna. Nothing she can do, and GG, well played. Evil Geniuses take game 1 of this best of 3 against Thunderbirds.
Gotta give a lot of credit to, especially Zai and Sumail in this game, I think.
Sumail's recovery. Yeah, like the start of that game looked really rough for him, and he ended up being a player at the perfect time.
Kind of gives you flashbacks to DAC, doesn't it? Just that DAC was even worse. This time, oh, I only died 2 times, no problem, man. That's not nearly enough. They got to kill me like 6 times because DAC's 4 wasn't enough. Obviously,